Once upon a time, there was nothing but chaos. Chaos was simply the void that existed before anything else. But eventually, Gaea, the Mother of Earth, came to be. Then from her came the Titan Uranus, who was the starry sky that loomed over the Earth. As time passed, Gaea and Uranus bore 6 daughters and 6 sons together. The daughters were Thea, the goddess of light; Rhea, the would-be mother of the gods; THEMIS, the goddess of order and prophecy; MNEMOSYNE, the goddess of memory; Phoebe, the succeeding goddess of prophecy. There's also Tethys, but her significance in Greek mythology isn't very clear. The sons, meanwhile, were OCEANUS, the personification of the ocean; Coeus, the god of inquisitive minds and intellect; Creus, the god of heavenly constellations; HYPERION, the god of heavenly light; Iapetus, the god of craftsmanship; and Cronus, the god of time. These children, along with the rest of the deities that existed at this time, were called the Titans, or the primordial gods. Everything was fine for Gaea, Uranus, and their children at first. That was until Gaea birthed more children with Uranus that weren't as pleasing to him as the first 12. The first 3 were called Cyclopes, and the other 3 were called the Hecatoncheires, or the 100-handed ones.
Yo, the fuck are these things?
To Uranus, they were hideous and an embarrassment to him. So these children were literally pushed back into the womb of Gaea as soon as they were born. Out of frustration and grief, Gaea then formulated the plot of revenge against Uranus.
Hi kids, who wants to help mommy kill daddy?
I'll do it,
replied her son Cronus. The next time Uranus came to try and sleep with Gaea once more, he was ambushed by Cronus with assistance from 4 of his brothers who held his father down. After Cronus sliced off his father's genitals, Uranus exclaimed a prophecy to curse him.
The day will come when you too will be overthrown by your own children just like me.
Cronus proceeded to slice up his father anyway and killed him. After Cronus freed his other siblings, he eventually married his sister Rhea and took over his father's position as the king of the gods. As time passed, despite his worries regarding the curse put on him by his father, he had children with his sister Rhea anyway. The first of which was a daughter named Hestia, the goddess of the hearth. However, Cronus grew even more worried when he had realized that his daughter was not a normal Titan. She was an Olympian god. In fear of the potential power that Hestia could pose against him, he then swallowed her.
Kronos, what the fuck?
I'm sorry, Rhea, but a prophecy is a prophecy. I'm not taking any chances.
Despite her grief, she could not do anything against her husband alone, for his power as the king of the gods was too great. She then proceeded to bear more children for Cronus, namely Demeter, the goddess of the harvest; Hera, the goddess of women, marriage, and family; Hades, the god of the underworld; and Poseidon, the god of the seas. eating his children was not the only form of precaution that Kronos made. He wanted to ensure that nobody would challenge his authority. He eventually threw his siblings, the 100-handed ones and the Cyclopes, into the pits of Tartarus. Tartarus was a place where horrible monsters and criminals were imprisoned. Eventually, the time soon came when Rhea was pregnant once more with their 6th child. She decided that she must figure out a way to save all of her children. Gaea eventually found out about her daughter's situation and made a suggestion.
Take this child-sized rock and then wrap it in some cloth and present it to Kronos as if it were your 6th child.
In response to this, Rhea eventually gave birth to her last child, Zeus, in secret. And afterwards, Rhea presented the wrapped rock as her child to her husband.
My dear, this is our 3rd son, Zeus.
Oh, thanks. I could use another snack.
Kronos then ate the rock and did not find anything wrong with it. Time continued to pass as the real Zeus matured, under the care of creatures named nymphs. Once he got old enough, he offered to be Kronos' cupbearer.
I shall make you the best drinks you've ever tasted, and be your most loyal servant.
Kronos accepted Zeus' offer, and even grew to like Zeus as time passed on, oblivious to what his true identity was. One fateful day, Kronos requested for a drink.
Sire, your drink.
What Zeus didn't make clear was that he had mixed in a poison into the drink that he served Kronos. This drink caused him to throw up all of Zeus' siblings. Together, they fled from the place and prepared to go to war. The war between the Olympian gods and the Titans took place for over 10 years, both sides unyielding until the Olympians sought the help of the 100-handed ones and the Cyclopes after freeing them from Tartarus. It was through freeing them that they were even able to acquire forged equipment from the Cyclopes, including Hades' cap of invisibility, Poseidon's trident, and Zeus' lightning bolt. Using their newfound tools for war and acquired allies, the Olympians won. The 3 brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, drew lots to see how the earth would be split amongst them. Hades was given the underworld, Poseidon was given the sea, and Zeus was given the sky. And thus, a new era ruled by the Olympian gods had begun.